into the online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
WrestleMania might be over, but the craziness continues in the world of professional wrestling, or sports entertainment, excuse me.
Yeah, watch it now.
You know, we are still recovering. I still have no sleep in me. But we're here to talk about SmackDown, and we're here for you guys who are listening on iTunes and watching live on the YouTube stream and AfterBuzzTV.com and SoundCloud, and you like and you subscribe and you tell your friends, you give them 5 stars, all that good stuff. So let's get into this. I'm Christian Rosenberg. You can follow me on Twitter at @RealRosenberg, as well as I finally decided to set up an Instagram. It's crazy, but I just did at @TheRealRosenberg. The is in there at Instagram. I set it up over WrestleMania. Got a lot of fun videos and photos up on that. Joining me this week, it's that curtain jerk. Is that curtain jerk over there? That handsome, super tall curtain jerk. He's at curtain jerks on Twitter. It's Scott Narver.
That seemed like vamping to remember my name.
Who are you? It's been so long.
Corey TK, you guys. Follow me at Corius.
By the way, I think Corey's officially in love with Wade Barrett now, after Access.
She's in love with anybody she gets in proximity with. Let's be totally honest. If it were Bushwhacker Luke, instant love.
Well, because to say we had a blast this week would be an understatement.
It would be.
We got to go to WrestleMania, the Hall of Fame, Raw, complete access to Access, no pun intended. On our AfterBuzz,
we all climbed the Elimination Chamber. That was a blast.
We did. Mm-hmm. Some of us got escorted out. Scott,
Tom Connolly.
All right, and
Tom's the guy that punched the guard. Got surly.
We got over 40 interviews on the AfterBuzz page from different superstars, divas, and legends from Access and everything, which you got to definitely check out on the page. I stood in between Ricky Steamboat and Vader at one point.
Wow.
That was a little mind-blowing for me.
Yeah. You could have gotten an arm drag or a powerbomb at any moment.
I could have been destroyed by finesse or destroyed by brute force.
Mm-hmm. Either way, it's dangerous.
Yes. And I told Barrett about Corey, and Corey happened to interview him again later on, and she's like, oh, and he's like, oh, I met your friend earlier, and all of a sudden she's like, he remembered me.
Mm-hmm. I'm the one that played in those seats last year with Cesaro.
That's true. Mm-hmm. That's true. You and I are just playing matchmaker for Corey.
Yeah, like she needs it.
But yeah, real quick, before we get into SmackDown, because we haven't gotten a chance for us to talk about WrestleMania in itself, we have the AfterBuzz up for that, so make sure you go and check that out. But if you were to give your best and worst of WrestleMania, what would you do? Let's do best first.
The best for me, it's that moment when everything drops. You just turn into a fan. You're not thinking about anything. Everything makes you yell and holler and get excited. And that was Triple H and Sting. Because the second that DX their music hit, I just lost it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, this is crazy. And then wasn't thinking about what else could possibly happen. I was just wrapped up in what was going on. NWO's music hit. I lost it. I was just so amazed by what was happening and what was going on. And I got wrapped up as a fan, not as it would be logical if Sting won, because then, no, just had so much fun. That match was just fun, and I loved it for that.
My best is the main event, because when Seth Rollins cashed in, it could not have been done better. You have Seth Rollins, the most evil guy right now on the roster.
Very evil.
Steal the shot from his former pal, Roman Reigns.
Evil thing to do.
Very evil. Cashed in, ran off with the title when he wasn't supposed to be in the match. Brock Lesnar, the most vicious guy who just re-signed. You don't want him to look weak and lose. Well, he lost the title, but he didn't lose the match. So he's still strong. Roman Reigns worked his way up. Some people weren't thrilled that he was in that main event, didn't think he was ready yet. Kicked ass in that match, then got screwed. Now people feel bad for him to try to work his way back to it again because he lost to someone that should not have been in the match. Everything was just done to perfection. And I couldn't have been happier with how that match ended. My worst, and I'll go first because I find this ironic, my worst was the Sting Triple H.
Why is that?
And there's the
like
reason
that band that Sting had, huh?
That band, they didn't ask me to be in it. I'm like, I can play the drums. What's going on with that?
I can do that. Get Sasha Grey out for vocals. We got this.
We're done. No, the reason, when DX came out, was that awesome? Yes. When the NWO came out, was that amazing? Yes. Them staring in the ring, holy crap. Such a cool moment.
Finally, Mr. Ass versus Scott Hall. We've all been wanting to see it.
I've been waiting 20 years for that. Why is the NWO helping Sting?
Why not? Why not? Because the Horsemen, they're not going to do so good out there.
No, but
I guess Harlem Heat were busy.
Well, here's my
Glacier could have used the paycheck. He would have been happy.
Glacier, I would have gone crazy if Glacier had snow falling in Santa Clara. But no, to me, and I hate playing the role of the quote unquote, like fantasy booker because I don't want to do that.
No, but go ahead.
But that's what I kind of have to do to explain this. So you have DX come out, awesome, cool. They're helping Triple H. NWO. Sting represented WCW. The NWO was trying to destroy WCW. So why would their biggest rival, why would they help their biggest rival in their history of WCW? Instead of the NWO coming out at that point, you should have heard a giant woo! And out comes Flair, Booker, and Diamond Dallas Page. Because those were the heart and soul of WCW along with Sting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not done yet. Don't worry.
No, I'm taking it in. That's me acknowledging it for the audio listener.
So then
I don't want them to think I just walked.
So then we got DX and WCW battling. Then you could have Shawn Michaels show up and do what he did, which was awesome. Then have NWO come out and just beat the crap out of everybody because they don't give a damn about anyone. I see. And then if time and money permits, you hear glass shatter and you have Austin come out and stun everyone.
Oh, okay. just everyone's obliterated.
Yeah, I mean, and do I care that Triple H beat Sting? No, I'm not upset about that. That's fine. I'm not against how the match ended in any way. Right. I just was I'm just kind of sitting there.
You wanted a WCW faction that was aligned with Sting.
I wanted, people that were behind WCW. NWO was trying to destroy WCW. So to me, having them suddenly help Sting made no sense. Unbelievable moment. Everyone loves the fact that NWO and DX are in the ring at the same time. And I absolutely love that too. But I think I'm just thinking more like how you were saying, just as a fan, enjoyed it. Oh, yeah. And I'm guilty of the fact that, wait a minute, this doesn't add up.
Oh, I was all for those numbers. I liked it. It made sense to me. I'm like, fine, whatever. Then they'll come over, they'll destroy WWE and take that over.
Yeah, and come on. If we're thinking in the imaginary world, Hogan, Nash, and Hall versus X-Pac, Road Dogg, and Billy Gunn, yeah, that's an even fight.
Yeah.
Completely.
I did love the moment, especially when, because the one part I thought about, I go, well, wait a minute, X-Pac is in both. And then
that's true.
Where he showed up in front of Nash and he goes like, huh? And Nash just goes, no way, buddy, and just forearms him.
I wish he just took the shirt off and it just showed X Factor. Outcomes credible.
Yeah. And Albert like, huh? Come on.
We're here too, guys.
Our moment.
Well, if there was there anything that you would consider a quote unquote worse part?
I would say the thing I was least excited for, and I realized it halfway through, was Undertaker Bray Wyatt. I enjoyed the match, but overall, without Undertaker being involved in the match with any promos, showing up on TV in any capacity, I had no reason to root for him. He was just showing up and having a match. We've heard Bray's side the entire time, but we heard nothing from Undertaker. So I wasn't invested. I just felt at that point I was rooting for Bray because I had nothing behind Taker. So I think that was just disappointing in that we didn't get any of the other side. So that felt like it was lacking something.
Did it also feel kind of weird that the sun was still out?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was really
there was nothing they could do because it was a semi-main event.
Right.
But the sun was still up just because, all right, you have Bray come out. Everyone with the cell phones, it's like, well, there's not many cell phones out right now because it's still daylight. Mm-hmm. But nothing they can do about that.
No.
But yeah, I can kind of see what you're going at because, yeah, here comes Undertaker. Wow, it's cool, Undertaker here. The match was good. Don't get me wrong. It was an entertaining match. But, yeah, kind of like what you're saying. Well,
the second match of the night had a montage of story. That was Orton and Rollins. And then by that point, that
was my second favorite match of the night behind the main event.
And that's what I mean. It's you have that much more invested in it, so you're that much more excited. And then this match was just one-sided. So when Taker won, it's like, all right, well, way to go. Mm-hmm. I'm glad you beat a guy who was just name-calling you.
Yeah, well, we would love to hear what your best and worst was of WrestleMania. So please feel free to chime in the chat roll, as well as obviously leave the comments on YouTube, our Twitters, iTunes, etc. But let's get into tonight's SmackDown, a.k.a. Let's Talk a Lot.
Yeah. Smack Talk.
Smack Talk. Hailing from Fresno. Which starts out with Seth Rollins and the Authority in the ring. Seth Rollins pretty much is bragging about his plan on how it came to fruition at WrestleMania, cashed in, and Lesnar got what he deserved by being suspended indefinitely for his actions on Raw, which it was very scary to see up close.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was literally, I was afraid, and I was still a safe distance from him.
Yeah, you were shoving everybody in front of your way. I saw that with the other fellow AfterBuzzers. You're shoving Steve in the way.
You're my shield. You guys are blocking me.
Yeah, just a lot of save me.
I actually tried to run side by side with Rollins out of the arena because I felt that much in danger.
Smart thinking.
Yeah.
J&J&C security.
There you go. And if they need a third guy,
why not?
Hey. Orton comes out, interrupts Seth Rollins, pretty much talking about how he deserves a title shot since, hey, I beat you at WrestleMania. You then cashed in. But since I'm the last one to beat you, don't I get a title shot? Then it makes sense.
More numbers, more logic.
There you go. Seth Rollins apparently says he decides who gets the next shot. And Orton then kind of goes on and makes fun of J&J Security and then talks about the Big Show and Kane, how they used to be so dangerous and now they're just yes men. And he says Kane went from the big red monster to the little red riding hood. I've never been more insulted in my life.
I mean, can they air that on television?
I thought that should have been all bleeped out.
That should have really been bleeped out.
I mean, there were little kids in the room. They started crying.
I mean, I know he's a Viper, but that was full of venom. Oh, man. I joked to you. I said, I'm glad to see that the guy who was writing Roman Reigns promos has work again. That's not what I want to hear, the Viper.
You don't want to hear Randy Orton called Kane Little Red Riding Hood?
Come on.
Come on. That is a vicious blow.
Say, come on, go, go get that voice box again because you were way scarier then than you are now in a suit. Something like that. Just go at him. Not that loaded line. That's terrible. Orton's so cool again right now.
Isn't he?
He's so cool again after that match at Mania.
Yeah.
And after him attacking Rollins and all that stuff, after him coming back and doing all this. And it's just that scripted line that you can feel and you go, that's not what you would say.
On Raw, he's going to tell Stephanie she has cooties. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, so then Kane orders a match between Randy Orton and the Big Show and mentions that if Orton's able to beat the Big Show, he might consider him in line for a title shot at Seth Rollins, which leaves Rollins a little confused. Orton versus Big Show then immediately happens. Goes for a couple of minutes. Orton's getting ready for a RKO. Authority comes out, beats the crap out of him, DQ. Ryback then came out to help Orton. I was thinking maybe this is going to lead to some match later on, maybe with Kane and Ryback on SmackDown or Ryback and Rollins. But no, that was it. That's all we got from Ryback tonight. Mm-hmm. So Ryback's become Orton's comrade.
Right.
And Authority isn't quite sure what to do.
I'm not quite sure what's going on myself.
Yeah.
Ryback was wearing a myriad of colors tonight.
It's true. He had the blue singlet, but a yellow belt.
Yeah,
and I think red
yellow
boots.
weightlifting belt. Yeah, red boots and some red in the stuff. It's like there's a lot of colors.
There's a lot of stuff going on. He is multicolored.
But yeah, he's in that spot where there's a couple guys in that spot where going. So now what? A bunch of stories have been reset, or it's a new path. But with Big Show being the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner, you're going. But yeah, but what does that mean? What is that? Since nothing happened with Cesaro, there's no precedent set.
Right, now all he's doing is just posing with the trophy.
Right. Which
And
I assume Ryback's just going to eat. I hope he eats it. I really do.
And I agree with Mega Solid Gaming 3000 in our chat roll, who said if Orton said that Kane was now Little Red Riding Bitch,
There you go.
that would have been much better.
You add a bitch to anything, and you immediately get
Yeah,
in the guy's
okay,
skin.
now I get what you're going with. Definitely better than Little Red Riding Hood. Moving on, Natalya versus Naomi, Divas action. Based on Raw, all of a sudden when Naomi pinned Nikki, we're thinking, oh, maybe Naomi's going to get a shot.
Right.
She'll be next in line. She hasn't had one in almost ever.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, and she's never been Divas champion.
Right. She went to the dance.
She's been to the dance, but did not have a partner.
Did not know.
No.
Where's Fandango when you need him?
He's with Rosa.
Yeah, but they're not doing so good right now. They should be on SmackDown. There should be more of these characters.
It's true. It's true. I like Fandango.
He should be vying to get into the Authority.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, people wanting to get in that spot. You'd think it's a premier spot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Booker trying to get in the NWO.
Exactly. Yeah, trying to impress him, trying to do great stuff, and he's just annoying to them.
Yeah. I would like that, actually. Fandango would be a good role for that.
Just being an annoying guy.
Like a Fandango or Zack Ryder trying to do things like that. One of them would work perfectly for that.
Totally.
Yeah. Naomi gets to cut a little promo, so she's on her own. No Usos around her. She mentions that she beat the Divas champion. In fact, it was so nice she decided to say it twice. She beat the Divas champion on Raw. And she feels that, if that doesn't prove that she deserves a shot, then she's going to keep showing people that she deserves one and has earned one by beating Natalya tonight.
That'll do it.
Because Funk is on a roll. I still think of Brodus Clay every time I hear that song.
I still think of Ernest the Cat Miller, who should have come out to save Sting at WrestleMania. Would have made way more sense.
We needed Ernest Cat Miller and above average Mike Sanders, and all would have been well. So Bellas are on commentary, and they're pretty much talking about how, Naomi, we know the Usos, but we don't really know much about Naomi.
True.
Who is Naomi?
We don't know.
And that's a fair point, actually.
She knows her song lyrics. That we know.
And she's a good dancer and agile.
A great dancer, I'd say. Perhaps better than Fandango.
Whoa.
Perhaps.
Pump the brakes.
I will. They've been pumped.
All right, thank you. Thank you for
Welcome.
pumping them. Real fun match between Naomi and Natalya. I wish it was like 5 minutes longer.
Yeah, I wish it lasted a minute.
The little bit that they had this week was actually, it was really entertaining. And it's amazing because the last couple of weeks, with this whole hashtag Give Divas a Chance, their matches have been longer and better. The WrestleMania Divas match was fantastic.
Yes.
The 6 Diva match on Raw was fantastic.
Yes.
This match was 2 minutes.
It's a shame. Because, they're
Because
building
Naomi and
story
Natalya
again.
can go.
Yeah, let them go. I don't get it.
Naomi wins with a unique move. She did not win with the rear view. She was like kind of going for a side hurricanrana while Natalya was on her knees and just spiked her head on the mat. It looked good. And then Naomi gets the win and then has a stare down with Nikki.
Right.
And Brie, because Brie's always there with Nikki.
And Nikki just held up the title, showing it off.
Well, when you're champion, you're allowed to do that.
Getting a tug of war with it.
Rollins and Kane are backstage, and Kane mentions to Seth Rollins that he's actually considering giving Orton a title shot. And Rollins is just like, wait, what? Wait, no, you can't do that. And Kane's like, well, a match between you two, almost pretty much best for business. It would be a good match, a good main event. And Kane is almost kind of trying to pump up Rollins saying, can you prove that you're better than Randy Orton? And then all of a sudden, Seth Rollins just like, this stinks. And Kane's like, no, you have to realize this is part of the job when you're a champion. He's like, no, it legitimately stinks in here. And Seth Rollins leaves.
And then comedy ensues.
We hear a toilet flush. Mm-hmm. And out comes Dean Ambrose. Did he wash his hands? We don't know.
He had a newspaper in his hand.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
And Kane is so angry that Ambrose used his executive bathroom without permission. He is forcing him in a match with Luke Harper.
Yep. I think
that was pretty much Dean Ambrose's response.
Yeah, he was like, all right. He's like, cool. Which I appreciated the different response to something like that. I think the only thing that would have made the segment, kind of humorous and offbeat is if Kane acknowledged that it smelled bad and then pulled his hands down and a match lit so that way it didn't smell so bad anymore.
Antoine Wilson in a chat roll, who really should have come out to save Sting. The Shockmaster.
Oh, yeah. Well, he wouldn't have made it.
He would have tripped down the ramp.
Yeah. Could have been a lawsuit.
But yeah, why was this literal toilet humor necessary?
Why was the toilet that close to this nice office? That's what I want to know. It was really close.
That is true. You heard it, and then he immediately took like one step and was there.
Like, there needs to be partitions and doors.
I was going to say, is there no doors and walls?
Yeah, are there no wallets? Somewhere where you can just really rest up, put your wallet on the counter, and then just relax. It's very disturbing how the authorities' office is laid out. Kane apparently needs the bathroom.
It's set up like a prison cell.
Close. It is. It is. Kane's authority office is set up.
The desk and couch are 3 feet from the toilet.
Mm-hmm. Very disturbing. That's why Triple H and Stephanie weren't hanging in there. They're like, that's Kane's office. It's weird in there.
Byron Saxton, we see an interview that he conducts with Roman Reigns. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Byron Saxton by far is the best interviewer WWE has.
Yeah, he's good.
He is great. It's not just a typical, what are your thoughts on your match tonight?
He treats it like these are questions that he's actually formulating and doing journalism.
Yes.
Shades of a Mean Gene. Mean Gene is another caliber altogether. Right. But he's at least in that ballpark.
Yeah. I almost feel like it's, kind of like the ESPN Sunday Conversations. Mm-hmm. They have when they have, one of their regular SportsCenter analysts one-on-one with some big athlete. They're actually really these prepared questions edited to get the best ones, the best responses. I feel that's like when I hear Byron Saxton do an interview, I feel like I'm watching one of those.
Right. It's no AfterBuzz exclusive WrestleMania Access interviews.
No,
not at all.
No type of Access Media Row interviews that someone might have had with, say, a Paul Heyman or a Bray Wyatt or Dean Ambrose. I don't know who would pull those off.
Byron Saxton would be lucky to get one of those guys.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
And he works there.
But meanwhile, Roman Reigns, a lot of people have been talking crap about his promo work, myself included. This was great. I really enjoyed this. He told a story.
Mm-hmm.
He talked about how he went to Suplex City, and he's now thinking about buying a condo there because he loved it so much.
That's foolish. Don't buy a condo there. That's dangerous.
Why? I mean, what's the market like out there?
It's probably very cheap, but incredibly dangerous. It's like living in Detroit. If you live in Detroit, I'm sorry.
Scott Narver hates Detroit.
No, I'm just sorry you live in Detroit because RoboCop isn't real and he won't save you.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean he's not real?
He's not real.
What?
RoboCop should have come out and saved Sting from the NWO
RoboCop,
and Terminators.
RoboCop and David Arquette should have come out and saved Sting.
That'd be the best. Ready to Rumble 2 happening at WrestleMania.
So Roman Reigns is talking about how he took the ride that Lesnar gives at WrestleMania, and all of a sudden when Seth Rollins came out, he felt like he was at the top of the mountain. He was looking down, and someone pulled him off it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like push would have been better, but you get the point.
Curb stomped him into the mountain.
Curb stomped him back to the bottom of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And Reigns and Rollins has to happen. But here's the thing. If Rollins is going to take on Orton at Extreme Rules, what the hell is Reigns going to do? Take on Big Show again?
I hope not. There's got to be somebody else for him to go after. Maybe Bray. Maybe Bray tries to take him down. There's somebody out there that we're not thinking of.
Right. I mean, they only got a few. I mean, this pay-per-view is coming up quick.
Yeah.
Like, we're still hungover from WrestleMania. And now we got about less than 4 weeks from till Extreme Rules. Mm-hmm. So you got to build a mini feud for Roman Reigns quickly.
Yeah, I don't know who at this point, but there's probably somebody out there that we're just not thinking of yet. The NWO.
What?
Maybe he fights all of them.
3-on-1 handicap match. And then X-Pac comes out as 6, and now it's a 4-on-1.
Let him fight Ziggler. There's so many guys going in at the Intercontinental.
There you go.
Or Sheamus. Him and Sheamus right now, with what Sheamus has got going on, that'd be really great too.
It would, but Sheamus is in the midst of everything with Daniel Bryan and Barrett.
Big tag. Do a big tag.
Teddy Long is joining us this week.
Throw him on tags, player. His job was easy. I want that job.
He literally just walked out and said tag team matches.
If anybody wants to buy me an oversized suit that I can wear, and I'll just dance around in it and make tag matches, it'd be a dream job.
Jessica Adams in the chat lives in Detroit, and she is outraged.
Oh.
She's outraged at your comments.
Well, Jessica, I'm sorry. I'm sure Detroit is actually very lovely. I hear there's a RoboCop statue now.
Is there really?
Yeah.
They made a statue?
Yes. Who doesn't like Detroit now? I know that there's a statue, Jessica, and that rocks. Send a picture of it. Tweet it to us.
Oh, my God. AJ0314. Nick Patrick should have ran out and brawled with Charles Robinson.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
For that awkward tussle that they could have together.
That who would referee the Triple H Sting match. So many good things. Miz versus R-Truth. This match happened. Skull Crusher finale in about a minute. Miz won. The Mizdow came out, gave a Skull Crusher finale to Miz, and stood over him like Miz did to him on Raw. Mm-hmm. That was that segment.
Got a huge reaction.
Mizdow got a huge reaction.
Yeah. He's got the people in the palm of his hand. It's like that Daniel Bryan reaction where he can just point and people go nuts for him, which is great.
Yeah. Remember that time when R-Truth was actually getting cheered for like stealing the Intercontinental title and was involved in a big match at WrestleMania?
I do.
Remember those days?
Remember those days?
Yeah, now he just lost unexpectedly in a minute.
Yeah, I'm not liking these days. It was that and Stardust on Raw where that was.
Yeah, what happened with that? As soon I'm excited. Oh, Stardust out, and then Mizdow came out. I'm like, Stardust is going to lose right away to Mizdow.
Yeah, bummer.
Yeah,
total bummer.
I love Stardust.
I think it's fine. I think they can both recoup from this, but I hope this isn't a pattern because both guys were doing awesome stuff.
Yes, agreed. And apparently Jessica Adams agreed with you saying Detroit is not lovely, so she hates her own town. Jessica Adams, how could you?
It's better now because you have a RoboCop statue.
There you go.
We don't have that. We don't have that.
Cena comes out. A rare SmackDown appearance for John Cena. Mm-hmm. And he cuts a promo about the fact that Rusev actually personifies the American dream. He came to this country looking for opportunity, and he got it, and success, but he was not thankful. And I want to do my open challenge every week for this United States title for people that feel they want that opportunity, whether it's, what is it, from Brock Lesnar to, who did he say this week?
Bushwhacker.
To the Bushwhacker. Brock Lesnar to the Bushwhackers.
New boyfriend.
Yes.
The Bushwhackers.
Luke or Butch?
Either one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey now. Obviously, Rusev comes out. Lana's with him now. She was not with him on Raw.
Right.
Ankle is taped up.
Right.
Lana starts to talk. Rusev takes the microphone from her and mentions that he did not lose to John Cena at WrestleMania and is just staring at Lana when he says that.
Yeah, that's a hiccup in the old relationship right there.
Yeah. That's not sounding good in old romance Russianville.
It's bad. He needs that purse money to keep up his tank collection. Because I'm assuming he's going to be the new Alberto Del Rio, but with tanks.
That would be amazing. Every week he had a tank.
Different tank. Just different types of tanks rolling in the arena.
That would be awesome.
It'd be really awesome.
It will never happen, but that would be awesome.
Well, because he lost the title.
That's true. Now it's not worth anything. And apparently they started going back and forth, Rusev and Cena. Rusev tries to point for his flag to come down. It doesn't come down. Cena's like, oh, did you mean this? And the American flag comes down.
Crowd goes crazy.
Crowd goes nuts. And then randomly Cena says, I'm going to kick your ass at Extreme Rules. There was never a challenge for Extreme Rules issued in this promo. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, I'm going to beat you at Extreme Rules. Oh, I guess this match is happening in Extreme Rules. 3 pay-per-views in a row, Cena Rusev. This one's got to be, it's Extreme Rules. It's got to be some type of gimmick match, right?
It's got to be, yeah. There's no just, I don't think there's ever a straight-up match at Extreme Rules anymore. It might be something kind of like, you know, oh, it's Falls Count Anywhere.
Is that what you think this might be? What do you think this one could be?
Last Man Standing?
I feel like we see too many of those.
I Quit?
That might be cool.
So then somebody's got to say it?
Right, which obviously...
So if he's denying that he lost, he has to say, I quit.
Right. Or it ends up having Lana's the one who says, I quit for it. See what I'm doing there? See what I'm doing?
And then it's, you did quit. You handed in your resignation when you said that. He wouldn't know that word, but, you know. Or at this rate, hey, it might be a first blood match with the way that things have been going.
Yeah, we're going to get to that in a little bit, because that's been interesting. AJ in the chat roll says a flag match.
Oh.
Which would also make sense.
Whoever eats the other person's flag wins.
Whoever can point up first.
Oh, that
to have the giant flag come down.
That makes
Both
sense.
will be ready to go down. So whoever can lift their hand up first. Mm-hmm. There you go. Luke Harper versus Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago on the show, I was talking about what are they doing with Luke Harper? Because all I'm seeing him do is put on great matches and lose. And no story, no nothing. Well, that changed tonight. Luke Harper beat the crap out of Dean Ambrose and powerbombed him through the damn announce table. And just like that, we have a feud where no title is around.
Don't need it.
Don't need it at all.
Just two angry guys.
Who can just beat the crap out of each other and get back up.
And steal the show.
Yes.
Oh, Luke Harper is my idol.
I love Luke Harper.
EYEDOL.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I like that.
Right?
Smart.
Yeah.
You're smart. You're a smart guy.
Luke Harper is so amazing. He's been one of my favorites forever. In the Wyatt family, I love Bray. Eric Rowan's very good, but Luke Harper would always draw my eye. He was always doing something very unusual. He's connected at every moment. He's always doing something fascinating. I can't get enough of that guy.
No.
So great.
Now, let me ask you. At WrestleMania, he powerbombed Ambrose through a ladder. On SmackDown, he powerbombed him through a table. Is this going to be some type of maybe tables match for Extreme Rules? Or
pudding match?
There could be a pudding match.
Powerbomb him through the pudding?
Now, see, these two, I would like to see Last Man Standing.
Okay, that's a good call.
That would make sense.
Yeah, I like that idea too. Mm-hmm. I can't top it. That's just perfect.
Oh, well, I mean,
you're welcome.
It's just what I do. I can't help it.
Hey,
born with it.
Genetics, or maybe it's Maybelline.
Oh, maybe. Primetime players.
Yeah.
Hey, we're giving them new shirts and a promo time.
And it's a throwback. It's the Primetime Wrestling shirts.
Yes.
With different lettering for players, which that made me very happy.
I thoroughly enjoyed this. However, I don't know who's the heel and who's the face.
See, I think by the reactions that New Day's been getting, that they're just going to let that play out. That they're going to go, well, if they get booed, they get booed. But we're going to have Primetime players be funny because we know they're funny. And they were being funny.
They were hilarious. Titus did a spot-on impression of Big E. Like, I thought it was Big E. If I wasn't watching this, I would have thought that was Big E cutting a promo.
Mm-hmm.
Then they...
And had the look down perfectly. With all the...
with all the water?
Yeah, with all the water capturing the amount of sweat that Big E has.
Yes. Then they mentioned what Kofi's chest looks like.
Yeah, the collapsed chest thing.
Yeah, they had nothing to say to Kofi, so let's just talk about his chest.
They probably wanted to rip on the accent, but someone went, no.
No, we've already done that. Yeah, that happened a long time ago. And then they mentioned that Xavier Woods' hair is nappy. Aw, snap.
Yeah.
But because what we were saying, New Day, obviously, they're good guys. Lately, they have not been received as good guys. Primetime players, since they reunited, have been good guys. But in the past have been bad.
True.
one of these teams obviously is turning, but I still don't know which one.
I don't know if primetime players at this point could turn, especially against New Day, because people like primetime players. People already like those guys.
Yes.
There's a history with them. So it'd be hard for them to do it, especially against... I mean, is there a tag team that people love so much that they go, if they turned on them, that they would hate them? Kind of like how Sheamus turned on Ziggler and Bryan. Those are two beloved guys. Mm-hmm. So, of course, they're going to boo him.
Yes.
But I can't think of another tag team that if primetime players attacked...
Really, the only one would be Usos.
Yeah.
That'd be it. So do you think you think it's New Day that's turning heel in this?
Kind of hope so, because that'll then give them a chance to have characters, because there's nothing to them.
I agree. I'd be interested in how they kind of turn this into that, though. Kofi's never really been a heel. Neither has Woods.
True, yeah. It was that short-lived moment when they were a heel faction.
For a week, and then they went off TV.
Yeah, and we had the privilege of, when it was on Main Event, that Xavier Woods was on commentary, and the other two were just scouting everybody out.
Yes.
And it had a cool vibe to it.
Yes, I remember that. Mm-hmm. I was excited, and then they vanished.
They did.
And then they...
wore blue and clapped.
And then they wore blue, had music lessons with Kirk Franklin and the New Nation, and now we have the New Day.
Mm-hmm. They have the weirdest Titantron video of anyone I've ever seen.
It's not them. It's just gospel choir behind them the whole time, just clapping.
Just clapping. There's no highlights. There's no Kofi jumping off of something. There's no Big E hitting somebody. There's no Xavier Woods on the outside of the ring. All those highlights of what they've done as a faction.
Yeah, shouldn't they show highlights of what they've done?
Nothing. It's just all it is on 50 feet tall is just a gospel choir clapping. So strange. I like it because it's strange, but it's strange.
I did want to mention, because I forgot to talk about it earlier, because we were talking about how the fans were turning on New Day. I got to tell you, obviously, there's nothing like seeing WWE live, which everyone knows.
And if you don't, go find out.
Yeah. And being live, the Raw after WrestleMania was absurd. This was the first time I've done that. Mm-hmm. All the chants, some not appropriate, some hilarious. It was just so entertaining. Honestly, I think my favorite chant of the whole night was not on the air.
Okay.
There was a point, it was a commercial break. So those of you listening, you wouldn't have seen it. But Lillian Garcia mentioned to the live crowd that Raw's coming back to San Jose in August. So, you're able to get your tickets now, da-da-da-da-da. They do that for all the live crowds, let them know in between commercial breaks. All of a sudden, the crowd started the chant of, "We don't live here. We don't live here." Because everyone that was there was from another country.
We had a small smattering of people behind us in our section that went, "Yes, we do."
Those are the only people nearby.
Mm-hmm. They're like, "We want."
I thought that was so hilarious.
That was really funny.
Oh God, I love the WWE universe, especially the Raw after Mania.
They're good people.
They were great people. Main event time. Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan. Sheamus has got some new music.
Yeah.
A new Tron. It comes out in the dark. Everything about this I loved. Everything.
He is his own Jericho jacket. Like when that light hit him, he just has body lights. It's one big light bulb.
What are we saying about pale people? Huh?
I'm saying...
What are you saying about us pale people?
I'm saying you guys save energy.
Oh, thank you.
By just reflecting a little bit of light on you, and you just shine up a whole arena.
Yeah, that's the interesting. For those of you watching on here, the only light in here, there's just a night light in the corner.
Yeah.
That's all that's needed.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And it's just reflecting on me. Everything's fine.
Yeah, I'm normally pretty pale, but I got pretty sunburned at WrestleMania.
Sheamus gets on the microphone, and he mentioned that he attacked Ziggler and Bryan because he can. And he asks, where have all the real men gone?
I certainly don't know.
Apparently, the real men, these guys make Kevin Hart look like Shaq. And you brought up a good point. They should have kept it WWE reference. Should have made Hornswoggle look like Big Show, like you were saying.
Sure, yeah, keep it in-house.
We understand what that means.
Yeah, some people might be going, who's Kevin Hart?
Who's Shaq?
That's the guy in the movies. You know, he's with Will Ferrell. Like, oh, yeah, that guy. I missed what he said.
Oh, Shaq. Well, that was like that 70s movie character, right? When he says, shut your mouth.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, okay, that's what I
No, that's
thought.
Kazam, bro.
Oh, that
Yeah,
guy.
see, and everybody's missing what's going on. Cause
Meanwhile, the match ended.
Yeah.
But Sheamus will not rest until he puts every one of the little underdogs out of their misery.
That seems foolish. She should rest in between.
I mean, take a breather.
Yeah,
have a snack.
Get some corned beef and cabbage.
There you go. A pint.
Oh, yeah, that too. Soda crackers.
But I like this. So all of a sudden, Sheamus is turning into the dream wrecker, like in a way. You know, like, oh, these guys have their dreams of proving everyone wrong and being the underdog, and the crowd gets behind him. Oh, if they can do it, maybe I can someday. Bro kick. You know, that's pretty much what he's trying to.
He's kind of like
insinuate.
Clubber Lang in Rocky 3. You know,
Yeah.
Rocky was the underdog, and then this guy comes out of nowhere and just beats everybody down.
This match, very entertaining match, which we expected between the two. Barrett is on commentary again, like he was on Raw.
He's great.
Waiting for his rematch with Daniel Bryan. God, give this guy more mic time. I know he gets plenty, but I want him to have more. Sheamus targeting the neck the entire match. Smart, told a story. You know, the surgical repair neck of Daniel Bryan. And apparently, during this match, toward the end of the match, Bryan was giving Sheamus some headbutts. Sheamus then pushed him off the apron onto the floor. Bryan hopped up, and his head was busted open. Just before he took a bull hammer from Barrett, with the ref not turned. Match ends in a count out. Sheamus wins. This is now two separate occasions. Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania and Daniel Bryan on SmackDown, where heads were busted open and there was bleeding.
Very close to the same spot as well, like right at the top of the forehead near the center. And it was like a thin blood trail.
Which we know for many years they have pretty much kind of outlawed as far as no intentional bleeding. I'm not saying that these were intentional by any means, because I couldn't see any area where it would have looked intentional. But I just find it weird that twice in the same week, in the main events, it happened in roughly the same area.
And both times, it made each guy look way more badass. Now, I'm not saying it needs to happen all the time, but in these occasions, you go, God, these guys are tough. They are taking it. They're taking these beatings, and they keep coming back.
Yeah. I mean, and they keep going back, and it was just like, now all of a sudden you had the trainer looking at Daniel Bryan on the outside. Obviously at WrestleMania you had the referee putting the gloves on to look at Lesnar, make sure he can still continue. It was adding the more, I don't want to use the word realism, but it made it feel more real.
Yeah. Dramatic as well.
Yes, added drama to it, absolutely.
Because there's only so much of a beating a guy can take, basically internally, where we're not seeing bruises, we're not seeing things happen, and we go, well, all right, I guess they're fine still. When we see blood, we know there's something wrong. And then you get concerned, and then thinking, can this guy overcome this? Should they stop this? What's going to happen? And again, it's a trick to be used very rarely anymore. That don't overdo it, because then it won't mean anything again.
Right.
But in these two occasions, it's meant a lot.
And now I'm thinking, if this Extreme Rules is coming up, obviously there are going to be matches with weapons of some kind. Could it coincidentally happen again? Because pretty much, let me put it like this. If Extreme Rules goes through, no bleeding whatsoever, then this was just bizarre coincidences.
Right.
If also Extreme Rules happens with all these weapons and who knows what matches are going to happen, and at least one guy bleeds from the head, from the forehead area, then they're quietly bringing this back.
Yeah, and then something's brewing.
And I do not oppose it. Just like you said, keep it in moderation.
Oh yeah, definitely. I wouldn't want to see it all the time.
No, and kids wouldn't want to see it all the time.
No.
Well, you said that with some sarcasm.
No, I mean, like, no, they don't want to see that. Like, oh boy, the bleeding show.
Yay, blood!
Yeah. Hey, get enough of that on The Walking Dead. Parents, why you let your kids watch The Walking Dead? That's terrible.
They let them watch The Walking Dead, but not professional wrestling.
Yeah. Zombies could never happen. Brock Lesnar might come to your house.
Paul Heyman might be knocking on our door right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so in a nutshell, that's really gonna do it for this week's SmackDown. Do you have a match of the night?
That was the only one that
Pretty
was
much
really a match. That match is definitely worth checking out. You got to watch that portion of SmackDown at least. And I really loved Luke Harper and Dean Ambrose, that segment, because you thought it was going to be a match, but it does turn into a total beatdown. And like you said, they told a story and they really hyped it up for something where there's really nothing at stake.
Yeah.
But it didn't need to be. It just felt like it didn't need to be, and you just want to watch these two guys have matches.
Mm-hmm. And have matches that involve people going through things.
Mm-hmm.
Because Harper is super powerful, and Ambrose just doesn't die.
And let it never be forgotten, this all came about, not because of WrestleMania, but because Dean Ambrose used the executive bathroom that is Kane's.
It's all his fault.
Mm-hmm. What about you? What was your favorite?
I'm 100% with you. The main event by far was the best match. I love the Harper Ambrose section. I love the Primetime Players promo. Those are, I mean, honestly, the second hour of SmackDown was far superior than hour one.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to see. I mean, they're obviously setting things up. We're setting up Orton Rollins. We have Cena and Rusev. We're setting up, looks like Ambrose and Harper, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
We're setting up something involving Sheamus, Bryan, Barrett, and maybe Ziggler.
Right.
New Day Primetime Players. That'd be an entertaining kickoff match.
Absolutely.
Naomi and Nikki. You still got Lucha Dragons, who debuted on Raw.
Right, and Neville as well.
Neville showed up on Raw. Who knows, what they might be trying to do with him.
That could be a fun six-man tag opener or something.
That would also be cool, yeah.
Just throw them all together and get them on the pay-per-view.
Yeah. They got a lot of stuff. I know we said it's just only a few weeks away from Extreme Rules, and they've only officially announced, really, Cena Rusev.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of things that they actually can work on just from this one between Raw and SmackDown this week. So, it could end up being pretty good. Pretty good. So, with that note, Scott, tell people how to reach you.
You can follow me on Twitter at Curtain Jerks, and you can listen to my comedy wrestling podcast, Curtain Jerks, available on SoundCloud and iTunes. And this week we have, we got Ryback, Adam Rose, and Hornswoggle joining us for some special interviews, so you don't want to miss that.
All right, and you can follow me on Twitter at Real Rosenberg, and like I said, I finally have Instagram. I've discovered what 2015 means, at The Real Rosenberg. And again, go to the AfterBuzz YouTube page. You can see myself interview Paul Heyman, Bray Wyatt, Dean Ambrose, Stardust, Jimmy Hart, Paige, Ricky Steamboat and Vader, Lita, many more, as well as Marquia got a bunch of interviews, Corey got a bunch of interviews, Tom got some interviews, George got some interviews. Lots and lots of interviews.
Like, comment, share, do all that.
And make sure you follow at AfterBuzz TV for all your latest AfterBuzz TV news. And that's pretty much everything for Scott Narver. I'm Christian Rosenberg. I'm just going to go back to bed now. We'll see you later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.